I know obviously you're still waiting for your grades to come in just to be official, but how excited are you to be just sort of a few days from getting into a game?
Oh, very excited. It's been a long time coming. I've been working since I got here, so it's very exciting that it's finally coming, getting close.
Going back to when you left Indiana and decided to transfer, what do you remember about talking to Coach Point and deciding this is where you wanted to be?
Just how honest he was with me about everything. Like I said, he's one of the realest guys I've met, and especially as a coach, it's great to have. Cutting no corners with you, tell you exactly how it is, and just so you know what you got to work on and you know where you stand. So it's great playing for Coach Mike.
He talked about how when he was a player, he dealt with the coaching change after his freshman year and how that could be really difficult. You kind of had the same thing. How tough was that transition after Tom Crean was gone?
It was tough just because coming out of high school, I went there because of him, and you build a relationship with the coach and stuff like that. But I think going through that, I learned a lot, got mentally tougher and things like that. So, I mean, it wasn't the best situation, but I think I made something out of it.
What's this last year been like for you, having to sit out and not, I mean, obviously you can practice, but not being able to get into games?
It's been tough not being able to play, but from his perspective, I got to work out a lot. I think my game grew a lot, and then watching the game from a different perspective, I think helped me a lot from not like a coaching perspective, but not being able to play. So I think it's helped a lot mentally.
Can you kind of describe your playing style for us? What can OSU fans look forward to seeing from you?
Competitor. That's one of the biggest things I thrive on is competing. Do whatever I can to help my team win, but in my heart, that's the biggest thing I think is I'm a competitor and I compete like no other.
What is it like being a transfer guy coming in to a new program and a new culture and kind of getting used to that after you've been somewhere else and kind of had to go through the process once already?
I think it would have been harder, but being with Coach Mike and coming in and the guys welcoming me in, especially last year with some of the older guys, and they were real welcoming. I remember Kendall taking me under his wing and teaching me a lot of things and just about the culture and things like that. So it was, I think it could have been harder, but coming here was perfect and it was pretty easy adjustment.
After more than a year without playing in the game, do you kind of enter this feeling something to prove?
Not really, just more excitement, ready to play, anxious. I feel like I've worked a lot, so kind of just let my game speak for itself, but more anxious and just excited more than anything.
Is the process made any easier with guys like Michael Weathers and Yakuba, who you've been teammates with that also had to sit out after transferring?
Oh yeah, for sure. Me and Mike, we last year we worked out a lot together before games, after games, going through the same process. And he was already going through it before I got here, so when I got here, it was kind of follow Mike, do what he did, and then I got adjusted real soon.
Your first game at Indiana was against Kansas, right?
Yeah.
What do you remember about that?
That was a fun game. That was definitely a fun game. I can remember us winning the championship, getting the trophy, and I can remember my phone blowing up afterwards. I can remember my mom being in the stands and things like that, so that was a fun game.
When you were deciding to transfer, what was it first, what did you know about Oklahoma State before, and then what was it that ultimately drew your attention to Oklahoma State?
Honestly, coming from the East Coast, I didn't know much. I knew the history of the program, and I know we won championships. I know some of the players like Marcus Smart, Tony Allen, things like that. I knew it was a tough program, built off toughness. And then when I started talking to Coach Mike, it was just it felt like I wasn't even talking to a coach, just like my friend or something, like a regular guy. And then you get to know him, and then you know how much he knows about basketball and how much he cares about people as a person and things like that. So that's probably it.